both sides hate him. So for me, I don't like either side. So I like him. He's also been consistent since he joined politics. He's been consistent. Same thing every day, never change a tune. And that's why both sides hate him because they don't want to do anything.
Exactly. I want to say, you think, let me tell you, this is the only country. See, when I first arrived in this country in 2004, I just came from a 14-year civil war. So to even own a car, it's like you the man, however way you say it here, like you the shit or whatever,
Yeah,
however.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And me that, everybody, you talk to anybody, they will respect you because you have a car, just because you have a car,
Right.
right? You come from the 14 years civil war, everything is destroyed. So I came here and I seen the household, every household in my community, five, six. The minimum cars they have in that driveway was four. Minimum. I'm not talking about the Harley Davidson,
Hmm.
auto, fancy bike and thing like that, right? And they were like the most unhappier people I ever seen. Like they're always mad. And someone who, from me where I came from, with everything been taken away from me, like my dad owned a sugarcane, cocoa, and coffee plantation. There's a lady that was in Guinea that would bring her truck and then
Hmm.
get all our stuff to Guinea. She would sell it there and then bring the money. So when the walking order that was taken away from us, my father was gone, my brother was gone. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm the one supposed to be the most angrier person in this world. I'm not supposed to be smiling, passing around. But these people have everything. You enter the house, you open the fridge,
Food.
everything is there.
Right.
Food is there. They don't even eat it. They put it everywhere. Have food sitting everywhere. I'm
Hmm.
like, why are you mad? Then tell me why you're mad. Because financially, I think you're doing really well. If you have four cars in your car garage, if you have three cars in your car garage, and there's the only country I see people lose weight and they gotta celebrate. You lose weight, you gotta celebrate that you lose weight. I'm like, these are strange thing to me because we're trying to gain weight over there. And you losing weight, you happy. No, seriously. I'm like, you lose weight,
Oh
you're happy
man.
about it, but I'm trying to
This
gain weight.
guy said we're trying to gain weight.
You're trying to gain weight.
You're
And
somebody
because
for losing weight.
I was a skinny dude, man. I've been doing the entire Civil War.
14-year war will do that to you.
I've been running from bullet my entire life. It's like every time we're on the soccer field, dude, if you were not fast, everyone that was in fast, they got cut and they recruited them.
Yes.
They recruited them. Hey, you wasn't
Yes.
fat, but for me, because you know that you only see a shake, I'm gone. So that's how he used to call me. They call me Spring Frog. They said, nah, you can get that. Like sometimes they will do like a dare. They say, oh, they are coming. They will be in the pickup because they come to where the soccer field is and they
Hmm.
try to get you.
Right.
So we see them coming. So, oh, you see them coming? We're over there. Then everybody running and say, hey, I'll worry about that.
And I
So,
think for people who didn't understand the story, basically you're at the field, right?
mhm.
And rebels are coming or something,
They
right?
coming,
Yeah,
they coming
they're coming to
to
kidnap you,
they
basically.
kidnap you and they
And
recruit
then
you.
he just like
Yeah, you got to run away from them. And then when you get cut, they will not shoot you. That's the only thing they used to do. They will not shoot you. They will just shoot in the air to scare you. But
right,
when they shoot in the air, that's when I
you
don't know
gotta
for some
go.
reason it's like I get electric charge.
You can't sit there and wait.
No, I get
Um,
electric charge. I even get faster when they shoot in the air.
I mean, listen. I know there's
So
a stereotype about us being fast as black people and stuff like that. But the truth is this: look, I got my nickname Flash from a friend of mine who said, "Dude, you are fast."
yeah,
And we were
dude.
playing soccer, like we were playing actually football because that's the real name of it.
Yeah, football.
Not American football, real football, the football that the whole world plays. Um, and if it offends anybody who is a fan of American football, too bad.
Yeah, too
Um,
bad. I'm sorry.
sorry, but
I'm
that's
sorry, man, but
that's just the way it is.
that's
But
not football.
yeah,
That
but
handball.
you know what? A quick story, by the way, guys, this is just a separate conversation. Now we're just gonna have conversation, and
Yeah, conversation.
we'll get back to the initial topic earlier. But I remember this when I was in Florida, living in Florida in college, and a bunch of my buddies and I we would get together and on Saturday and play soccer for like nonstop for like 5 hours, dude.
Hmm.
Like we get there 11, by 3 o'clock we're finishing up to go home.
Right.
And then one day, these four football players, like American football players,
Hmm.
came in and say, "Oh, we want to join and stuff." Like, and these are big dudes. Now, mind you,
Yeah.
like some of them are like 200 pounds, 230 pounds, 220 pounds or whatever.
Hmm.
And most of us are about 130
Yes,
to
yeah, skinny
145,
one,
150.
exactly
And
160
but we're
mass.
all yeah, but we're all in shape. I mean, we play soccer for 5 hours nonstop, dude. Like, I'm not saying we play 45 minutes, we rest. No, when we start
No,
playing,
that's
we
yeah,
just
but
keep playing until we're done.
that's how we play.
Yes,
That's how we play. You go on the field, it's like if your team, can you imagine you want your team to win all the time?
right.
If it is 5 hours, 6 hours, your team is playing continuously because beating all the team and that get you
Yeah.
excited. You don't even
If
get
I'm able
tired.
to play 5 hours nonstop, you put me on the field, I'm there. There's no, oh, I'm tired and stop. I need to
Right.
eat, taking that coach. No, no, no. So we were usually doing like, 5-on-5, or sometimes we'll do it like 10-on-10 or whatever. So
Hmm.
these two football players come and they said they want to join. I think that day we were probably 9-9-9. So it became an actual, full team, 11-11. So the other team took two people, we took two people. And soccer,
Right.
1 minute the ball is here, the other minute the ball is over there.
Boys
So you
over
gotta run. So you're
there.
constantly running.
Back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth.
And then these guys jump in. They say, "Oh yeah, we could do it." So they get in there and stuff. And then, dude, literally 5 minutes, they were gone. They said, "Nah, we're good," because they couldn't handle the running. Even if
Right.
you like watch football, right? Again, some people may not like this, but too
So, but
bad.
stamina and endurance, man. You gotta have
Exactly.
stamina.
When you watch a football, an American football game, the whole game is what, about an hour,
You're
maybe?
right.
But it
I
takes
think it's like
five
20,
hours or 4 hours.
yeah, 20 minutes each. I think 20 minutes each, or it's like 10 minutes.
I,
I
I,
think
I don't
they got full quarter.
quarters, yeah.
And then each quarter, I think it's probably 20 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, either 20 or 15 minutes.
Hmm.
I think it's either 20 or 15 minutes each quarter. So
Okay,
full
yeah,
quarter, that should be maybe an hour, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah. So anyway, so obviously they couldn't handle it and stuff. And then when they left, well, I mean, we were laughing a little bit to say, "What? Don't think that just because you're big and strong and you play American
It's
football,
that much
that means
strength.
that you're gonna
Mm-mm.
go and come and win soccer game against us." No, we do this. Like, some of us were from Egypt, South America, and stuff. Like, we had people from basically everybody that was playing was from a country that plays soccer.
Right. We do this for fun.
Yeah, not a. I think one time, one of my buddy, he was my roommate. He's American. He actually plays soccer, and one time he came and joined in, and he was decent. So we had a good game. But all these other things, like, nah, dude, come on. But anyway, coming back to what we were talking about,
Right.
I was talking about. I think he told me, remember what I was talking about, but I don't think I did because we
Yeah.
went so far off
That's
course.
so far off.
Coming back in general, back to the African topic,
Right.
you know, and I think the main thing that you were talking about previously was the country coming back together, at least the people getting together
Right.
and fighting. And I really think, and God protect this guy, Traore. And I'm gonna actually pronounce his name the right way. People always say
Traore.
Traore. It's like, no, it's Ibrahim Traore.
Ibrahim
The R,
Traore.
yeah, Ibrahim Traore. There are
Ibrahim
roles.
Traore.
So
Ibrahim Traore.
I hope,
I gotta learn how to pronounce it properly too. Because I'm from Liberia. I'm
but
from Liberia.
but
All the free slave from the United States and the Caribbean came over there and they just mess up our entire tongue. So sometimes when I'm speaking, my tongue is in my language. When you're speaking, you move your tongue
right,
backward.
right,
In my language, like Pele, you speak in Pele, you move your tongue backward.
right,
But English is up and down. So
right.
sometimes when my tongue get confused and go backward, and
It's funny? That happens to me because remember, I speak French, right? Obviously English, but then I also speak my mom's language, my wife's language, my own language that I
that's
choose not to
crazy.
speak, but I understand it very well, and my one of my aunt's language. So we speak multiple languages, right?
Right.
And so sometimes as I'm speaking, my tongue will just twist, and I
You
just
feel
have
it?
to stop, pause, and say, okay. And it happens to me even when I'm speaking English. I pause and say, okay. All right,
Then
how do I
before you
pronounce it?
continue.
Then I continue. Say, okay, I gotta
Right.
say, because I still to this day I think in French, and and then I basically translate it into English as I'm speaking. People
Right.
think, well, because even sometimes when you say, okay, I gotta count something, I start going un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, and then people look at me weird a little bit, and I say, then I
Yeah, I'm
continue to
good.
count it. It's like, yeah, it's like that. That's just the way I am. Like, I automatically go to French, but English is a default, obviously now,
Right.
given that we live in this country. It's kind of funny too. It took me about 2 months to start speaking English, and people in my class they used to talk about me all the time until one day someone said something to me, and I responded. He said, "Wait, you speak English?"
You
I said,
speak English?
"Yeah." He
Yep.
said, "How come you didn't say anything?" I said, "The only way for me to understand or know how people are is to pretend not to speak the language and let them
Exactly.
see who their true colors are by the things that they say."
Right.
It was interesting. But yeah, man, we gotta get our people, you know, to work together. This guy, Ibrahim Traore, needs to be protected. Um, and I think given what Chad has done by kicking out the French, and obviously they've done the same thing, I
Right.
hope, I hope that my native country itself also does the same
I
thing.
hope Liberia does too, man.
I
I hope
hope,
Sierra Leone,
but you see,
everybody in West Africa, bro. I hope
we
because we would not be having any problem if only they were doing the right thing.
especially remember, okay, back to the okay, now I remember what we were talking about. Young people versus older people.
Right.
Under
You
the
know,
towering skyline
the
of New
young
York City,
people, and
a
I'm
different
so
kind
glad
of
that
power
none of them
stood tall,
they're not playing,
this
especially
time
in
from the
Burkina
ground
Faso,
up.
they're not playing.
Oh
They
shoot.
are not
They are not
playing.
playing, bro.
So if these people want to try and go kill this guy, they're
On
gonna.
April
I
30th,
don't.
African
I
voices
honestly think that
thundered
it's
through
over.
Times Square.
All
Not in fear,
of them in
but
Burkina
in fierce
Faso, they
solidarity
are
with
all
Captain
detective.
Ibrahim Traore of
Yeah,
Burkina Faso.
All of
pretty
them, they
much.
are detective. Look,
These weren't
you
just
go there
Burkina
and
Bay
say
expats.
anything wrong,
They were
some
sons and
crazy thing
daughters of
about
the entire
Abraham, you done. You ask
Yeah,
too many questions,
yeah.
you finish. There's a lady, I think a lady went there. A lady went there. I saw like on social media. I don't know how true is this,
I
but
heard
she's
it to
from the
multiple
United States.
sources too. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, she's
She
from
was
the
giving
United
free
States.
clothes and stuff like
Free
that.
clothes, like she
Yeah.
went for the NGO kind of stuff, and
Hmm.
then she was there to know like where how many soldier he has, or and to
Right.
where all the barriers are, or all that other
Yeah.
stuff. Asking too many questions, she got arrested. That's what I heard. I don't know if this is true,
No, I heard
but
the same thing
yeah,
that she was there, pretending to be a humanitarian,
yeah,
person or
doing that
whatever,
exactly.
and they caught her. Now, some people went a little far saying that, well, she had a computer and stuff that she was tracking things on, and
She was
yeah,
communicating with the
exactly,
person, and then
and they intercepted,
they
what she was
intercepted.
doing, and
Yeah.
that's how they actually let her move a
Dude,
little
I
bit.
believe that China is over there, bro. China went there.
You
China
know,
helped them with that tech.
okay,
Russia is
okay, I wanted to talk about this for a second. So I've heard today that China, North Korea, and Russia sent troops out there. Okay.
dude.
Now remember, Ibrahim Traore recently was in Russia. We all know that,
Right,
right? And during his one of his interview, actually during his conversation with Putin, he said, "I'm not here. We're not here to beg for money. We're here to talk about partnership
right.
for technology, education, and those type of things and
Yeah,
stuff."
dude.
And the thing is, he's right. Why go
A
beg
real
for something
boss.
when I have gold that I can pay for if I want to
Right,
exchange something with you? Why
right.
would I go beg you for money? I don't need your money. I got plenty of money. I got Africa. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
got my resources that I can take in exchange for what I need from you. And so, but based on that mindset alone, you know, the West, I think, has been so dumb. They've been so dumb in thinking the only way for us to get these resources is to steal it from people,
True dumb. You
right?
know what I'm saying? The only
Yeah,
way they can get a little few sent to us
yeah.
is true dumb.
Yeah. So what if you just did what Russia is doing right now? Again, Russia has its problems. We all know.
Right.
But the fact is this,
They're not
they're
trying to stay in
they're
there.
not trying exactly.
They're
They're not
just trying to
trying
get what they want.
exactly.
Uranium, whatever thing, lithium, so they
Exactly.
can make that military more stronger, get better weapon, and also all the different
So
mineral we have over there.
so what the
You know,
West is now doing is, okay, you took yourself out of a position where you could legitimately get these resources and do what you need to do with them. But since you've been trying to steal it and doing all these things and trying to kill people and controlling them or whatever, now that people have woken up to that, they're going to go to your enemy to say, you know what?
exactly.
You help us. Since they want to do it this way, we're going to leave them alone. You help us. We'll work with you. We'll give you what you're looking for. Obviously, we're not just going to give you everything and stuff. You're
Right.
going to have to pay for it.
Pay for it.
But we'll work with you
We need
since
something to change.
exactly. Look, North Korea. I'm sorry. I've met a person who came from North Korea and stuff. They're not being treated well there. Okay? They
Right.
are in a dictatorship. Like it's not the type of dictatorship that we talk about for our people because like we
Even
said last week.
China, some places in China, they don't even let black people look. The Chinese, the Asian people, they are very like straightforward.
Hmm.
There's a club. There's a club, the nightclub. My brother would tell me, say, they would tell you we don't allow black people in our club here. This club we don't allow black people, and no black person will go there. Oh, this place we don't allow black people there. They will be straightforward. It's not like here where you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like where they don't like you, they don't want you to be there, but they do the fake smile,
Right.
and then you go there and they try to hurt you or trying to pin something on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're
Hmm.
waiting for you to do something, so they're gonna call the cops on you. And then like when the cops come, that's when they try to spit. Oh, we didn't even want him to be here. You know,
Hmm.
we didn't even. You could have just told me that.
It's like the idea that I used to always tell people that when I lived in Florida, I liked living there because I knew that the racism was playing in the air.
Right.
I knew who I can trust, where I can be, where I cannot be.
Exactly.
So because I know that I'm only going to be in places where I'm okay to be and
Right.
nothing will happen to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? The racist is plain. I don't like it when people are racist against me, but hide it with a smile, with a deep
Exactly. Don't
sorry.
do
I don't
that. Be
want that.
be
You be
racist
real
straight
with me
up.
so that
Yeah.
I know that, okay, you don't like black people, which means you don't like me. That's it.
Yo,
We're done.
my father used to say, is you don't have to, I'm not calling you about my father used to say that you don't have to be afraid of the snake. All you have to do is just know
That is
what a
there.
snake is, that is
Yep.
there. Just know that the
Right.
snake will bite you at any time. So when the
Yep.
snake is around,
Yep.
just be aware, just be alert
Hmm.
that anytime they might try to bite you. You don't have
Yep.
to be afraid of it all the time. You can
No.
coexist, but just know they're a snake.
Yep.
Just know what our intention
And
are.
protect yourself against it. That's
Yeah,
it.
protect
That
yourself.
that's
That's
all
it.
you got
I
to do.
just want to know if you are racist. I just want to know because then I can't be wasting my time trying to say hi to you or trying to do things for you or depend on you when we're in the same community. When someone
Hmm.
they're attacking me, I try to come over and you are the one who telling me I will shoot you. Don't come here. Then I had nowhere else to go.
You know, the perfect example when it comes to China, North Korea, and Russia is the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yep.
You know? Because I guarantee you, if America and the West, the rest of the West, like, the G7 were acting right, they would do business with the Burkina
Right.
Faso. They would. I would prefer if I was in this position and they were doing things the right way, I would rather do business with them. You know what I mean? But the
Right.
fact is this, no, they're trying to kill me. So you know what? I'm gonna go work with their enemy, knowing the snake that could still bite me, but I'm gonna protect myself against them. But I
Right.
can still do business with that
I can
person,
still do business. Yeah.
knowing
I
that
I I can still feed a mouse. After if you hungry, I give you 10 miles your belly before you're not going to bite me anymore.
exactly. And that's conceptually that's what we're trying to say. Where yeah, those countries have their faults, but the fact is this: you're trying to kill me. You're trying to steal my stuff. You're
Right.
not helping me. You've been in my country for over 60 years. You haven't done anything. The fact, and I mentioned this last week, but I'm going to say it again one more time. World War II, they went to Japan, fixed it in what, 10, 20 years? Now they went to Germany, right?
Yeah, Germany is fixed. You go there like nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
I was there. I was there. Beautiful. The street is all paved. You know, they
This
got
is,
that.
I love how he said the street is all paved.
Yeah, like they got like these. You know how like the bricks. They got the brick street.
Yeah, but see, some of their thing it doesn't even break. You know what I mean? It's there
Mhm.
forever. But if you,
Yeah.
but just to deviate a little bit, you know what's funny? How we still have like potholes everywhere here, and yet the countries that we built have better roads than we do. It's like I always say, people. I say, listen, we don't have free education. Israel has it. We don't have free college. Israel has it, and yet we're constantly giving them money for war. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like, that makes no sense to me. But anyway, so yeah, like working with if they were not doing what they were doing, if the West was not doing what they're doing right now to Africa, they would be working with these countries and get resources from them. Get a contract. Okay, you're gonna mine the gold here, but guess what? We own the mine 50%. After this many amount of years, we own the mine outright 100%. And
And
you have the
with the
license.
equipment.
Exactly. You have the license to mine, and then whenever we get 60 or 70% because we get the most of it. You will invest here. That gives you the right to be able to mine it. But
Right,
most of the profit comes to us because it's ours,
right,
not yours.
right.
If you want to get 100% of the resources, go to your country and go mine there.
Wish you can do it.
You can't because not only do we have laws and stuff, but we don't even have the actual resources within under the ground. Okay? We don't have
Right.
the resources under the ground. Where? Where are you gonna go and mine any? The only thing we have underground is coal, which is killing people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Heck, and
Yo.
recently the current president actually they eliminated I think it was the test that they do to see if people who mine coal have
Hmm.
black lungs and stuff like that. He took
Hmm.
that away from people, the same people that voted for him. But that's another tangent.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. In Guinea, every year they mine about the West took about 20 million ton
A backside?
of backside.
Yeah.
But guess what? They don't give Guinea enough money.
No.
And also they left Guinea with ruined water,
Right?
their river, and then the land is getting all messed up. You
That's
can't
why
farm on it
when we
and
go there,
cancer,
yeah, when we go
you
there,
know.
we can't drink water out of a faucet. We
That's
have to
what I'm
buy
saying.
water.
Like, if you're letting someone come in your country who don't live there, they don't care about you. They only look at us as this map right here. This is
Yep.
how they look at this
Right.
map right here on the
Yep.
screen here. That's how they look at us.
Yep.
And if you have people that they're not looking at to be human being, but just resources and mineral, that's what happened. Because
Yeah. No, they don't. Exactly. They don't see him, just like you said, the map. They don't see humans. They see resources. And we're basically the humans there are in the way of that resources.
right, trying to get rid of them.
Yeah. That they're basically an obstacle for them getting access to that resources. So, get them out of the way or poison them, kill them softly and stuff, and then take everything and run away. Like these people would be happy if they can eliminate every African off the face. If they were to develop some type of weapon that can just make people disappear and leave everything else intact, it would happen.
Yeah,
It would happen.
they would have
It would
done it
happen.
already.
They would have done it already. But thankfully, there's no such thing, at least not to my knowledge.
Every time they make a drug so strong to like affect us, they make our immune system stronger. So they've been in Africa, like all the female that they've been giving them some sort of an injection vaccine, but that vaccine I think it was for something else, but it has some sort of drugs that they add into the vaccine that will make the female to not have kids.
Yeah, it makes them barren.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
been doing the same thing with the birth control. That should have been all over Africa. They've been when I went there, it wasn't there when I was in Africa. 2004, it wasn't there. But when I
Dude, I
went
never
back
heard about birth
2017,
control, even though I was a kid, but I heard about birth control when I moved to this state,
yeah.
to this
And then when
country.
I went back 2017, everybody's doing this talking about birth control. They call getting fat from it.
Well, that's what it does. It's hormonal. And
Yeah.
even here, people who take it gain weight from it because, and the problem with those things, right? Typically, it produces a hormone that your body is already able to produce,
Right.
but not enough for it to do the effect that the actual
Right.
pill does. It
Hmm.
basically teaches your body not to no longer produce those things naturally. And
Right.
it messes up your hormone all sorts of ways and stuff.
Which is not safe though. I don't know how
Dude, we're
safe that
not we're
is.
not supposed to be taking any of the modern medicine. Listen, modern medicine is very, very powerful in many cases. But when I grew up, I remember this particular thing, and I still have the scar to this day. I was playing around, I was being stupid, and my great grandmother was there, and I had a machete in my hand, and I was just trying to cut a branch. But they
Ooh,
always
it came
taught you,
straight to your shank.
thank you. They always tell you do not cut towards yourself. Oh,
Away.
yeah, exactly. Always away, always
Away.
away. And I was stupid, mind you.
And you
How
went
old
like
I was
straight.
I went like this dude. It went through the branch and right into my foot.
Oh,
Right into my foot.
damn.
But guess what though? I didn't even cry because the pain was so extreme. I didn't
That
have the time to
your
cry.
brain got shut down.
Yeah. But guess what? You know what my grandmother did?
Mm-mm.
She just went and looked around, because we're surrounded by plants
Right.
everywhere. Okay? We have a big driveway, the garage and everything, plants everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandmother goes, grabs this plant, chews on it, puts it on my wound, pressures on it, puts pressure on it. Dude, In about 5, 10 minutes, bleeding stop. I was healed in a week and a half. Like I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I don't know how
Yeah.
this is possible. Okay, and then I actually remember this particular one story is specifically. It was a plant. It was literally a flower, by the way. It was there
Right.
to decorate our house. And every time someone had a bad headache, like a migraine or whatever,
Hmm.
guess what? You just take the leaves, boil
And
it, make
boil
tea
it.
out of it,
Right.
and drink it. It is bitter as hell. But
Oh, I
your
know.
headache is gone in no
Yeah,
time.
I know what it is. We
Your
have
headache
been
is
like
gone
that.
in no time. And then, dude, I'm telling you, like, and some of these things, they actually taught me to recognize the plants and stuff and do what,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And so, and when I think about those things, and I'm thinking, okay, so over there, I can use natural, something that's natural, so no side effects,
Right.
right? And it will heal me quickly, heal my wound, or, take away my headache and stuff. But then if I come here, I take Tylenol, too much taking it might affect my heart.
Right.
If I take ibuprofen, that might cause me ulcer if I take too much of it.
Right.
If I take opioids, I become addicted.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything,
It's
even
like
this, the side effects.
everything, even for my doctor, like you go, they ask you, are you on any medication? I said, no, I'm trying to stay healthy. I'm eating right. I'm exercising, and I'm not eating American food. I'm staying away from it completely. And he said, good. But with all those things, and I always think, man, I wish I was back home because whatever's happening right now, I could just do. Dude, you know what we do here? I drink different teas, green tea all the time. My
Mm.
wife does the same thing. She has other different type of teas that she drinks. Our kids, they don't drink anything but coconut water and stuff like because coconut water can actually replace Gatorade. We don't drink none of those things. People
Right.
don't realize that you can literally get the same thing you want out of coconut water that you get out of Gatorade. The difference is Gatorade has a lot of artificial things in it that are not good for you, whereas coconut
Right.
water is literally from coconut. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, yeah, all these modern medicine that they're bringing over there,
It's
it,
not good.
it's not good. Think about it. Look at the problem we're having right now when you have the homeless people. I think they call it Skid Row in I don't know if it's in California or it's in or
Yeah, I don't.
Seattle, I think.
Mm.
But those people are all addicted. Think about what's happening in those areas. We're always talking about like the current administration saying, "Oh, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crimes and stuff." If there was not a market for people to use those drugs here, no one would be on drugs.
That's true.
You have a population that
I
has
want it.
been, yeah, that want it. And because guess where they were introduced? By the most legal drug dealers in the world,
All right.
pharmaceutical companies.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when I got my wisdom tooth taken out, they gave me, I think it was Vicodin. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't take a single one. I actually, they have a program where you get rid of them and stuff, like you go deposit it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I did with it. All I did was take some ibuprofen for like a day and stuff, and the rest of it, I just said, nah, I'll just deal with it because I don't want to pump myself with all these medicines and stuff, and they
Right.
cause secondary damage in my body. No, I didn't want to do that. But you have a whole system where you have all these different narcotics that they provide to people. The
And those are
same
the
kind.
same draws
Yes, they
that they
have the
took off
same
the street.
content as heroin. They have the same content as all these cocaine and all those things.
Right.
To a point where at one point there was cocaine in Coca-Cola that was sold here.
Yeah,
Are
of
you
course.
kidding me?
They had to take that out.
What do
They
you
had,
think? Why do
but
you think?
I'm pretty sure they haven't taken it out yet. I'm pretty sure they have found a way.
I wouldn't know. I don't drink it anymore. I haven't drank it in years, so I'm done with those things. I am so done with those things. It's the other thing, and again, I know since we're just having a conversation now, another thing that I always talk about is the foods that we eat here, man. When you go to McDonald's, right, the fries has like 17 ingredients. The oil that you're using has 10 ingredients. Why does oil has 10 ingredients?
They use that oil probably like so many times.
My first job in America was McDonald's, dude. My first job ever in America was McDonald's. Okay,
Mine was a fear.
dude.
The
I used
Audrey
to,
farm.
dude, when we were finished working for the day, like on the weekend, where my brother and I would work until like closing time.
Hmm.
And then, all the food left over, and I'll take like 5, 10 McChicken, 5 double cheeseburgers and stuff. And I'm eating, I bring it in, everybody eats it and stuff. Like they've eaten dinner, but then because we brought this, oh, we're gonna eat this too. And then now I realize that, man, I was poisoning myself that whole time.
Yeah, but hey, you were young and you burned all of that out. especially like you were active, right? Playing
Oh
soccer
yeah, I
and all
was
these
I was
different
actually
things.
on the JV team at the high school, but then I gave up because yeah, it was not. I got right back into soccer when I moved to Florida. But yeah, so we have all those things here, and like, and the irony thing, the biggest irony is all the foods that we have here, like the way they make McDonald's food here, they don't make it that way in Europe.
No, I was there for a month, and I'll go there almost like probably twice a day just to get fries, bro.
Because they
Their
actually have
fries
real
is so
meat.
good. Yeah, that fries is so good, and that
Yeah.
burger is not even greasy.
No,
I don't know how they fry. And you do the fry. The fry is not even greasy either. It tastes really good.
I have not yet, and I'm hoping that when we go to France to visit family there, I actually go and just
Dude,
experience it because
try it,
I've
man. You
heard
should
many
try
people
it.
say it is so different, but just based on my own research, the sourcing of they actually have real meat, okay? It
Mhm.
looks like real meat when you make a burger out of it. One of the thing a friend of mine asked me sometime because we make these different desserts sometimes, and the milk we put in it is imported from I think it's Sweden. And they said, wait, why do you buy imported milk? I said, because the milk here is nasty. And the fact that it's also banned around the world. If the rest of the world won't drink it, why would I drink it? And I also tell, I say, wait, why do you let this country give you poison and they don't give the same thing to other people over there? They give the
Right.
better food to other people and they give it to us. One of I forgot which cereal company it is, but it's one of those fruity cereals, right?
Hmm.
The company is American. They also sell the same cereal in Canada because they're banned in other countries. Even though they sell it in Canada, they're different cereals. So the coloring of the cereal that they use for the American market, the US market,
Hmm.
is artificial dyes. But the coloring that they use for the Canadian one is from fruits, like natural
From
fruit
actual
coloring,
fruits.
actual
Hmm.
fruits. And yet they're made in the same factory in America, in the US of A.
Why you feeding your own people crap? And oh man, I don't understand. I would never get it, bro.
It-
That
it-
is I would never get it. Like it's the same reason I was saying the only country when you lose weight, they have a party for you. You know, like when I was growing up, I actually wanted to gain weight because I was too skinny, bro. You know, but yeah, you are. Like you live in a country where when you lose weight, you're excited, you know, people are excited for you. They actually embrace you in this country for doing wrong. I'm just saying, I'm not saying people should go out there and do wrong thing, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying, for example, look at some of our leaders, some of the things they had done, and we still have them as a leader.
Yeah.
What kind of role model is that? What example does that set for other people that are watching you doing those kind of stuff? They think they can get away. If you can get away with it, they think they can get away with it too.
But the sad thing is they can't. They
No?
can try, but again, like you said, not telling anybody to go commit those crimes or whatever. But listen, do you know how many criminals this guy has let out
Yeah, I don't
recently?
even know, man. Like
Dude, it's like when you actually read what some of these people have done, you say, wait, why? Why are they free? Why are they free?
it's
But
unbelievable.
listen, the guy's making money off the presidency, which is not supposed to happen. Congress is not doing anything about it. The Republicans are his puppets. Democrats are a bunch of cowards.
He thinking he's going to be able to save. So save $35 billion every month.
Ugh, dude, the math doesn't even math at all, and I don't know why. So what's funny? I'm on a Reddit. There's a conservative Reddit
Yeah.
subreddit. There's a conservative subreddit. They are posting there. It's oh look at how much money we made this month, and I
Dude, you
said
don't even know.
look at our spending, and look at even if he was making that much money every month, it wouldn't even come up to like I, I can't even remember what the number was.
But it
It's
was 1.6 trillion.
okay.
1.6 trillion within 4 years, 4 years
Our
term.
okay, but that's 4 years.
And then the
One,
interest on the amount on the things like 30 35.3 36.3 trillion. The interest on that, but that 4 year term, it will be about 5.4 trillion.
Yeah, but one year
So
budget is like $6 trillion. So
yeah, so what are you actually paying for? Because at the end of the 4 year, your debt increased by like by 41 trillion dollars.
yeah, I think by the time he gets out of there, it's going to be close to that
Yeah.
because already, if you
It's
compare it
probably
to
gonna be
the
more. It's probably gonna be more than
most
that.
likely, I mean, dude, with the tax cut that they're trying to give to rich people right now, and then and people say, oh, we talked about the video that that was explaining how much people are going to be paying based on their income and stuff, and someone was telling me recently, he said, well, look, they're actually cutting it, but they're not agreeing. Say, yeah. I said, well, your tax is getting cut here, but now you don't qualify for Medicaid anymore. So you're going to have to pay for that. That's
Right.
another tax hike. Aside from that, the tariffs is a tax hike on regular people.
Of course.
He keeps insisting. I don't know if he does this on purpose or because he sold it that way and now he has to keep saying it, or maybe he legitimately does not know. If you put, and I'm going to explain this to anybody who's watching this right now. If I'm used to selling something for $100, okay, I'm going to use an even number that's easy to do math with. It costs 100. Let's say, I don't know, let's say Axe is, I don't know, Belgian, all right?
Mhm.
And I make something, I buy something from him that I'm going to sell here. And let's say it costs him $50 to make it. And I bring it over here. I pay him $50 for it. And if there were no tariff, then I'm not paying any tariff. So I only pay the $50, the amount of money it costs me to get the stuff from him. He spent $45, makes it, I pay $50, he makes $5 off of that.
Right.
But I bring it, I sell it for $100. So I'm paying I'm making $50 profit on it, right?
Profit.
Yeah.
Profit. Yeah.
So if they raise the tariff by 50%, so that
You
means that whatever I am paying so I pay $45.
right.
So I'm gonna have to take half of $45 and add that to the price I'm paying for the $45 that I'm paying to you.
So we
So, but
should
that
be
45 is not going to you. I already paid you your money.
right. That
I'm
45 going to the government.
exactly that 45 goes to the government. So I'm sorry, yeah, I think I said
It,
50%. So it's yeah, 20, yeah. So just basically whatever the tariff is, I'm gonna take that and it goes to the US government,
it goes to the government.
not Belgium, wherever
Not
you're
Belgium. No.
no,
Terror is not for they don't know. Terror is not for the person who the terror is on.
no.
That's not the person that paying
It
for it.
just says that stuff that come from that country,
Right.
it will be tariff on those
Usually
things.
people do that for the government to take more money from the citizen, which is corruption because the citizen are already paying taxes to begin with, and then you also put tariff on them. So they
Exactly.
literally
But now I'm paying that extra $45, whatever the math is. Um, but that means that if I'm paying that $45 and I'm selling this for $50,
right.
that means my profit is now cut down from $50 to
Yep.
$25. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of paying total $50 that I used to pay, which is 50 to you and nothing else, now
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying 50 to you and then $25 to the federal
25.
government.
Right. Now you got to sell it.
Now I gotta sell it, but I can sell it with the same amount of profit with the same price, but I'm losing profit by $25.
Right.
How many
But
American
you
companies
don't
are how many American companies are trying to lose $25?
hell no.
So they're
They
not
don't
gonna
even want
lose it.
they don't even want to lose 10 cents.
No. Because remember, the concept of a capitalism is every year you got to make more profit. It can't be
Exactly.
just the same amount of profit.
You
So
can't
what
stay in
I'm
the
gonna
same area
it
consistently. You
has
got
to be,
to
they call it growth, infinite
mm-hmm.
growth. There's no such thing as infinite growth. There's always a ceiling. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so that means now, okay, I pay $75. I used to pay $50. Now I'm paying $75.
I would set it for
I still want to get my $50 profit. So what I'm gonna do? That
add
$25 I
25 on that
paid,
75.
I'm adding it. So now the thing I'm selling you for $100 now costs $125.
Yep.
I'm still making my $50 profit. But remember, some companies will actually use that excuse to make more money. They might add
50.
$35
They might add
or
50 on it.
50.
They might
Already
make it
it's
50.
happening. It's
Yeah.
already happening. I go to the grocery store, dude. I buy 5 things and I see $45. I say, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
but because you don't know how much you buy for, how much they pay for it, so they can tell you anything to be like, oh, well, I'm paid the star on these things are expensive. That's what they always
Right.
leave.
Right.
Things are expensive.
The fact that some people, and I've actually seen smart people, right? And when I say smart people, is because we've had discussion about other topics unrelated to these things,
Right.
and they actually had legitimate good I had a legitimate good conversation with them, and they had good points that they made, intelligent points, well thought out points.
Mhm.
But then it comes to this thing, and then they repeat the same thing that this guy said. I say, seriously? Like,
Yeah,
how is it that when we talk about this, you're very articulate, but when we talk about this, you sound like
that's
a
because
2-year-old?
that's because this is what they learn in college. So whatever thing they learn in the book, whatever they learn in the book, they try to like do a presentation on it, right? It's not about now when it comes to something that how to do a common sense, street smart, or critical thinking, they get all confused.
Right.
They get all frustrated. They don't know what to do. Like they just give the most
And
primitive
and they listen
answer
to
of all
everything that
time.
they hear. You know how, like, American states are ranked by wealth?
Mhm.
Like states like Kentucky and all these red states typically are usually the ones considered the poorest, like West Virginia and all those things or whatever. And I always wonder what is wrong with the population. If your state is always considered the poor, why do you keep electing the same people to run it?
I think
Why
it's
is Mitch McConnell, I think 30 years now in the Senate and yet his state is considered one of the poorest. It's actually getting better because they do have a Democratic governor. He's more of a people's person or whatever.
mhm.
But he's your state, you've been in power for that long, and yet your state is still considered one of the poorest.
Is the same thing with some of these African countries. The choosing leaders, the choosing leader because excitement.
Yeah, but some of them is just based on
Because
political party. Oh, I'm a
yeah,
Republican. I can only vote Republican. No, that
exactly,
was a whole trick. It was all a
exactly.
trick on both sides. On
The
both
same thing they do
sides.
here with sport. With everything, you gotta be a brand thing. Oh, that's I like this. I like this team. I don't like this team. I like. It doesn't matter. Like
All that is just built up by the people in power.
yeah,
The people in
it's
power. It's
all
a way to
strategy.
control. It's all control.
Divide and conquer.
Yep,
They use
exactly.
it. They use it on that same people.
Dude, think about it, right? The same people that fund. So like one lobby, one group of lobby, right? Let's say, and lobbyists are people who basically go and fight for the things that they believe in or
Right.
whatever, for advocate for things that they want Congress to do. And that's
Those
what
are the
people
people that had
listening.
the money.
Yeah. But then you'll see that if you go, and this is actually public information, you can go see that the same lobby is funding a Republican here and a Democrat here. A
Mhm.
Republican here and a
Because
Democrat
they
here.
playing that game. Whoever win, they still make that money.
Exactly. It doesn't matter who's in power.
It doesn't matter.
What matters is what that person is going to do for them. It
Right.
can be a Republican and they'll win. It can be a Democrat and they'll win. And
Yeah.
yet, the rest of us are always losing, no matter
Mm-hmm.
who's in power. So this is
Yeah.
why they say the rich when right now the U.S. government is under the control of rich people. Come on, that's why they have Citizen United.
All right.
And the Supreme Court is, I'm sorry, it's not a court. It's just a bunch of people that just
It's what's it
there for the
called?
bidding of
Exactly.
their
They are
masters.
like a bunch of rich folks that are golf buddies with those people, and
They
they
all
all
have the
sit.
same clubs. They
Uh-huh.
all
They
go to the
all in
same
the
clubs.
same club. Yeah, the same club. They sit and make decision. As long as they stay getting that same money, they stay living in that same house, they stay living that same lifestyle.
Mhm.
Nothing changed for them. Everybody is okay. Whether people are crying down the street, they don't care.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If you go back to like the 2007 financial crisis, right?
Mhm.
Rich people got richer, poor people
Right.
got poorer, and
Of
there's still
course.
many still haven't recovered. Hey, it
That's
affected
why,
me.
yeah, Donald Trump purchased more home that time.
It's funny. We start talking about Africa and it ends up here because again, the problem in Africa, yes, we
It's the
have
same
African
thing here.
leaders. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
African leaders that are not, that are not focusing on their own countries because they're being bribed and all those things, and they're being controlled by the West.
Right.
But if you look here where we are, our current home, same thing is
The
happening.
same thing is happening.
Same thing exactly is happening.
The only difference is at least here they got law and order in terms of
Yeah,
how they no I'm talking about like development, right? They had the education system. I mean, we have 24/7 electricity, but we are slave to these things because we got to work. We had to work 24/7 to be able to pay for these things. if we don't work, if we're not working, it go off.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
no,
saying?
you're absolutely right about
So
that. Listen, I have solar, right? So yeah, my electric bill is like $20 only because you have to be connected to the grid or whatever.
oh really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, not all year. It's past 8 months out of the year. I pay
Hmm.
$20 for electricity every month. But I still have to pay for the
For
for
the
the for the loan.
for the installment.
Yeah, for the loan, yeah.
So how much did you pay for that? Because I know they wanted to do one for us and they telling us it's $30,000.
It was $40,000, but $30,000 because I got $10,000 back from the government because they had an incentive, but Trump is trying
Mm-hmm.
to take that away. So
Okay.
yeah, he's trying to take that away because they don't believe in climate change. Because they see snow and they say, "Oh, it's cold, so that's not climate change." It's like, oh man, dude. All right, brother.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining and a long way from home. I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. Until then, we will see you next week.
Peace.